big moment in the AIBA boxing career of Lewis Williams, the England representative, approaching the boxing ring for his World Championship debut. His opponent is Azerbaijan's Rauf Rahimov.
Sanctioned for three-minute rounds in a men's heavyweight contest. Your 5 judges represented here today at ringside are from Chinese Taipei, Korea, Hungary, Germany, and Zimbabwe. With your official referee today in charge from Puerto Rico, represented by referee Emmanuel Ferreira. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome as we bring up first to the ring, fighting out of the right corner, representing Luxembourg, it's Michael and Building.
So Jennifer Huggins of Canada signals time to get this contest in the 92-kilogram heavyweight division underway between boxers from England and Azerbaijan. The English boxer wearing red is Lewis Williams. 22 years of age, part of a 9-strong England boxing team. And that's the same number who are representing Azerbaijan here, Rauf Rahimov. 27 years old. Comes to the boxing ring as the reigning Azerbaijan national champion in the 91-kilogram heavyweight division. Of course, as mentioned previously, it has been amended, but good straight punches coming from Lewis Williams. And this, his World Championship debut at the senior level. As ringside in St. Petersburg to see him box in the World Youth Championships, where he came away with a quarter-final finish, losing to the man from Uzbekistan. So Lewis Williams here representing England, and on the resumption he spears his man with a 1-2 combination once again. A compact figure, comparatively wearing blue, trying to bustle his way inside, and already a slight trace of damage to the nose of Rahimov. Beautiful punch picking, terrific 1-2 once again. Other than the double left jab, it's the most basic combination in the book, the one that boxers often learn first. And Williams is using it magnificently here. He's trying to tuck up tightly as Rahimov, but he's being kept occupied by the straight punches coming from the flashing fists of Williams. Up on his toes now, remaining alert and slipping that shot effectively. Right uppercut brought into play, partially blocked, but again, that's increasing the extent of the nose damage further as Williams continues to harpoon his man with straight punches. Blistering start to this, the opening round of his World Championship debut. And the nose damage to such an extent that the referee has called for the inspection of the doctor. So into closing stages of this first round, and on the resumption, Rahimov perhaps with his best success of the entire round so far. A left hook followed by a roundhouse right, both of them finding the mark on the chin of Lewis Williams, whose flow was interrupted by that intermission. And on the resumption, it's Rahimov who has started in bright fashion. So closing seconds of this opening round. Oh, now we're going to have a warning issued here. So, failing to keep the head up, the more compact figure, Rauf Rahimov, has been issued with a warning. So that point will be deducted at the conclusion of the contest, but it is certainly in the scorebook. This man with a terrific round. That's why he's receiving that congratulatory pat from Dave Alloway, the coach inside the ring. Gary Hale on the perimeter on this occasion. So confirmation of a unanimous points decision verdict in favor of Lewis Williams. 10-8 on the scorecard of the judge from Sri Lanka, and a warning assessed as well. That will be taken into consideration at the conclusion of the contest. But Lewis Williams' straight punching was notable indeed. And look at the variety he was able to put on them, turning hooks around the corner when Rahimov was attempting to tuck up tightly. That left hook landed on the resumption, and there was the right hand which followed after the second inspection of the nose damage accrued by Rahimov in that first round. So the second round then underway. The 2019 edition of the European Under-22 Championships in Vladikavkaz in Russia. Lewis Williams came away with a silver medal. Won't be 23 until December, but that gives you an idea of the man's considerable ability and potential. Counter left-right was off the mark from Williams. But at this type of territory, he's putting clear daylight between himself and his opponent. When he pings his man with that jab and then turns the uppercut underneath like that, well, Rahimov is literally and figuratively in another district, because he can't close the distance when Lewis Williams straightens out that lead left hand. But when he doesn't keep it going, and Rahimov is able to get himself into territory, well, he demonstrated after the resumption of the doctor's inspection that he is a dangerous operator at short and mid-range. Williams goes in search of the right cross, can't find a range, and now he's over the front foot, backing up the man behind his straight punches. And when you're in the ring with a tall pressure boxer, it can often be a very uncomfortable place to be, because their sheer physical presence dominates the entire space. And look at that, having to back up and take a breather because he's been put on the end of a long left stick by Lewis Williams, who is getting onto the front foot and walking down his man. And so many examples over the years of good jabbers using that lead left hand or a right hand if they're a southpaw, just to demoralize and dispirit and discourage their opponents. And Lewis Williams electing to change tenor here, really snapping it out with intent and walking forwards behind it. Rahimov trying to play possum, trying to act as though he's drawing his man in, but that is the body language of a frustrated fighter for my money. Williams has got to remain switched on, but he's looking just a little bit dispirited because of the demoralizing effect of the most basic punch in the coaching manual, the lead left hand. And look at the length of Williams's arms, and look at double left jab, right hand between the high-held gloves of Rahimov. Terrific accuracy behind that shot. And even now Rahimov in his preferred punching territory, not taking the opportunity to work away. You can see from his compact, muscular physique, massive through the chest and shoulders. But when he got into punching territory with a wide open flank, well, he didn't let his hands go. And that's because he was tenderized repeatedly by the lead left hand of Lewis Williams throughout the course of that second round, particularly in the final minute and 20 seconds, say, when Williams elected to go on the front foot. So a scorecard of 10-8 returned for the second consecutive round on the scorecard of the judge from Sri Lanka. 10-9 across the board. Both rounds scored unanimously in favor of Lewis Williams at the conclusion of what was a magnificent second round. Rahimov started with intent, getting closer and working to the body of the man in red. It was a roundhouse right around the corner, but then When Williams got on the front foot and poked out his jab, well, it changed the complexion of the contest entirely, and he's starting the third and final round in a similar vein. There's a right-hand success of the single variety from Rahimov, who surely, well, he needs a massive final round to get back on terms, but look at how that jab, just before that coming together, touched him up repeatedly. Like so many boxers from all around the world, Lewis Williams has competed at the Haringey Box Cup in 2017. I was in attendance at the championships in that particular year. Multi-ring festival of fighting as he's demonstrating good variety, but there's the danger that Rahimov possesses, because when it came into short range, he was able to land with a left hand. But if you're ever in and around North London during the time of year when it takes place, it is worth a trip if you're a fan of AIBA style boxing, because I've lost count of the number of rings that take place in the hall, but you need more than one hand to count them, put it that way. Wherever you look, there is quality action across the age groups, boys, girls, men, women, and it's a real rite of passage when you look at the amateur ledgers of so many outstanding boxers from around the world as Lewis Williams spears his man with a left-right combination once again, and Rahimov looking almost forlorn up there in the boxing ring. He bravely wills his way forwards once again, but he's continuing to be pieced up with the jab of Lewis Williams, who is using that left hand with wonderful effect. Same shot once again, followed by a backhand success. And I'm not sure that's the posture you want to be adopting if you're Rahimov. Hands down, not in the on-guard position, because even when his hands are up and he's putting the earmuffs on, Lewis Williams' accurate lead left is finding a way through the defenses of the Azeri boxer in blue. So if he presents an open target, well, that's just easy pickings for Lewis Williams in this type of form. Double left jab, tripped out once again. This has been magnificent to behold, because Lewis Williams has boxed terrifically, turning his attributes of height, length and reach into assets, and has continued to feed Rahimov a steady diet of lefts all contest long, particularly in rounds 2 and 3. Right uppercut followed up the left jab on that occasion, and look at the body language coming from Rahimov, utterly demoralized, and that is because he was touched up repeatedly by that lead left hand of Lewis Williams. A terrific performance by the man from Leamington Spa, here representing England in his first senior world championships, and he produced a wonderful display of controlled boxing behind the lead left hand. No fist bumps or handshakes allowed, Lewis. COVID-19 countermeasures continue to be in place here at the World Championships in Belgrade 2021. So both boxers make their way to center ring. Let's get the official announcement, which should see Lewis Williams progress through on a unanimous verdict to the round of 32 in the men's heavyweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 71 in the ring A, the winner on points by unanimous decision is the boxer out of the red corner.
So Lewis Williams, a unanimous points decision victor over Rauf Rahimov of Azerbaijan. And look at the margin of victory on all 5 scorecards. That warning, of course, has to be taken into account, because the point penalized with a warning was Rauf Rahimov in the first round for not keeping his head up. But it became a difficult mission. Rahimov had his moments, particularly in the first round, after his damaged nose was inspected by the doctor. He, on the resumption, scored with that left hook right hand success. But then Lewis Williams re-established his lead left hand, and everything flowed beautifully off his jab. Very good performance indeed by Lewis Williams, and he goes through to the second preliminary round. We will face off against Indrit Laxi of Albania. That contest scheduled for 3 days' time in the afternoon session.